Core readings and welcome to Flesh.
Did you say core readings? Like for Corey? Because it's the time of the year for Corey?
It is not.
Corey, Steven.
It's time dude. Nerd.
There we go. Wait,
that is the most awful thing you've done in your life.
He's right there.
How much? I don't even want to know how much the fucking shirt cost. It's not worth $2.
I'm gonna wear it every day in October. You see me out.
Lame.
Fucking hate you, Todd.
I will buy it off you so I can wipe my ass with it, Todd.
Right.
God damn.
There we go.
I respect the commitment to the bit. I can't lie.
It's not a bit. He's legit.
I understand, but but it hurts a bit.
Well, I will torture you guys the whole show and keep his face here, so now you can just see mine. No,
I fucking hate you.
Well, thank you. Just pull the shirt down a little bit so we don't have to look at that abomination.
There we go. We'll sit back.
He's gonna get a green screen next time. So. Bugs Red here. Namaste. Howdy.
Yeah. Well, yes. Mike Kruger. I didn't introduce Todd. I don't plan to introduce Todd. Mike Kruger.
Welcome prime time, bitch.
There we go. There we go. Kruger is back from the depths of hell. How you doing?
I was there fucking yesterday. You fuck.
I know.
Steve.
I was reading his comments.
Steve said it.
Oh. Well, you didn't say
that is true.
Yes. You've been maiming a lot of people, and you're back. You're back.
I actually just saw Steve today. I was helping him out with some dogs.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But yeah, I actually just got back from the substance because I've been too injured to get to the fucking theater. But Jesus Christ, yeah. That's why we're a little late. I had to go rub one out real quick.
Did you have to rub it out? That seems like a hands-free moment by the end of the movie, dude. Walking down the hallway, just like...
I was using my hand in the first half of the movie, but then just seeing Demi Moore's ass and her tits through half of the thing. But then when you get to the climax, I was already climaxing. There's no hands by that point.
I'll inject you, G.I. Jane. I've got your magic shot right here.
Hey,
yeah, but I think everybody was correct when they said that that's going to be my favorite movie of the year because it is right now. But Terrifier 3 comes out next week. So
I was going to say
it's going to be a short-lived victory.
Didn't that happen last time too with Terrifier 2? You were
yeah, I was all about something. I can't remember.
Year?
No, that Psycho Goreman was the year before.
But yeah, there's another one, Terrifier. Like, and it was really close too. It was like less than a month later, I think it knocked it out.
Yeah.
Yes. Ben, you were pee-weeing it at the theater.
Steve said Demi's ass looked a bit lopsided to me. I mean, dude, she's old.
61. 61. I didn't see any problems. I'm all in.
Ashton's done with it.
Real talk though, like good on her for taking such a weird movie. I mean, I think her star power had a lot of people, like, because even in my theater, there's like a lot of old people and like older people that probably were just Demi Moore fans that were just like, hey, what's this? Because dude, the faces on some of these people after they left were like, what the fucking fuck did I just see?
I think Bruce is the one that talked her into it. This looks like a good script.
Did I steer you wrong with striptease?
Crowd.
Definitely if you can, go see that on the biggest screen possible because it's only playing in theaters down here for another couple of days.
Yeah. Ben says his theater was full of old people.
I love that. I just love that fucking all these old people.
Here's my problem when these old fuckers come here. Sorry, I know this is from one old fucker. Don't take a fucking nap in the movie theater. That shit's annoying.
Oh yeah, that shit is.
I fucking straight
when
up
people
clap loud
when people are snoring. Yeah,
fuck up. Sometimes scares other people in the theater.
If you can't control, especially if you're a snorer.
Yeah, well, maybe avoid it there.
I have no issues. Like, you want to sleep through a movie? cool. If you're not making noise, it's fine. But like if you're like snoring, it's like, dude, can't do that. Sorry.
Yeah.
You put a napkin over their face and you pour water in front.
I don't know if it's a waterboarding offense.
I think that's time. One time, dude was snoring before the trailer ended.
It's hilarious.
I think it's worse now with the recliners because I mean, like my AMC, like I mean, fuck, you can go to sleep in those damn recliners.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't recline when I'm tired.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's your best bet.
Yeah, well, that was not the one I meant to click. I meant to click this one.
Steve-L, speaking of snoring, did anyone see Joker 2 yet? We have a review up there.
Yes, you can see our
second take.
Our second take currently on yeah. And then there we go. Masturbating is better than snoring. But if you masturbate right, you probably won't snore.
This is true.
Dude, if you're masturbating right, you are snoring after.
I didn't even know that. Yeah. There we go.
It's the
There you
Cosby
go.
effect.
Kruger flipped it.
Furiously pull your pud right before go time. Furiously. Make it chafe and hurt a little bit so you don't fall asleep.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Dan
giving
is speaking of
advice.
personal experiences.
You just
Yeah,
gotta
It's not real love till I shave myself.
Now we know Dad has fucking friction marks all over his cock.
Bebop Boob's asking, did I enter the hub by mistake?
You might have. Dan's
No,
talking
but
about dry
if Dan
docking.
shares his fucking screen, there's going to be like 4 hub marks up there.
Hey, as we get older, we fall asleep easily. You got to make sure your dick looks like Rocky at the end of the 4th film. You just got to really just make sure you're not going to go to sleep.
Those
so
poor
you're
Asian
gonna cover your
massage
cock
parlor
in an
women.
American flag? That's stupid.
God, dude, they have to fucking put that in their mouth. Jesus.
Not the fucking. You know what? I'll behave.
We do
Come on,
have.
we're not on Patreon.
We've even got a Rapture movie tonight. Like none of us are going to make it. So yeah.
I've secured my place at towards the head of the table downstairs, so I'm cool.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, I feel like Pugs, you especially, it'll just be like Devil's like right there. Like I am a huge fan.
I've been shedding blood in his name for 10 years. He better accept me.
Dude, when we
He'll
get
be
down
in
there,
the
he's like, I
fort.
heard all about you guys.
He'll just appear to you,
The
Kruger,
fuck,
as
Steve?
Nick Cage. He'll appear to you as Nick Cage. So it'll
That'd be
be
fucking
exactly.
awesome.
He'll just be giving you the what was it?
Saint Nick.
The long legs fucking, yeah.
Yeah, I already forgot.
Wait, do it again, Dan. I like watching your meat paws try to.
Well, no, he had 2, right? He had 2. He did the
he went
like
like this.
goggles.
Look at his meat paws. They're
The
like
bird
real
one.
hands almost.
Thank you.
Oh, damn.
Shout out Orc in the chat.
What's up?
What up?
Yeah.
What up? So, you guys ready for the first movie?
Yes,
Depends
we
on
are.
what it is.
All right, two of us are.
Yeah, I was gonna say. What is the first movie, Dan?
From director E.L. Katz, we have Azrael, and in this film, in a world where no one speaks, a devout female-led community hunts down a young woman who has escaped imprisonment. Recaptured, Azrael is due to be sacrificed to an ancient evil in the wilderness, but fights for her own survival. All right, so 2024 has been one hell of a year, and it continues to be one hell of a year because I fucking love this movie. Samara Weaving plays Azrael. I still don't know why she's not a huge deal. I know the Margot Robbie comparison.
That's
is
you answered your own question. Yeah,
but goddamn, does she deserve to be? This director, E.L. Katz, I know I believe we're all fans of a previous film he did called Cheap Thrills back in the day.
Yeah.
Very different from this movie. He also directed a bunch of episodes for Channel Zero Dream Door. And good season too. So this movie is pretty much completely dialogue free. It takes place relatively shortly after a rapture. It's almost totally dialogue free except for one little portion, and I almost don't think you totally had to do that, but it's shot in Estonia. The woods, the look of this film, the way they photograph the action and shoot everything, I thought just was perfect. There's some great gore in this. It's short too. Like, it hits the ground running, and it's just a really tight 90 or so minutes. I just fucking loved it. And this world, some people might feel that they want more out of the world, but I think they at least hinted at certain things that I was really compelled. I would love to spend a little more time in this post-rapture world that they kind of set up. This movie's got a lot going on. It's a survival horror, I guess technically religious horror, but they don't dive too deep into that. But it's also a revenge film. I thought this was fucking badass. It's written by Simon Barrett, who's Adam Wingard's go-to guy on almost all of his movies. And I really don't think it's getting the attention that it deserves right now. It's essentially an action horror movie, but there's like a deeper thing surrounding it that I thought was just fascinating.
So this gives us what Silent Night didn't? From that Christmas movie with Joel Edgerton?
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is a better movie, I would say, for sure. I like
that was like no dialogue pretty much. This one, same deal?
Yeah, same deal. There's one point, there's not a lot that you can like outright spoil with this movie beyond the ending, but there is one point where it's not that people can't talk. This cult, they have this mark on their throat, so they've obviously surgically made it so that they can't speak. Her Samara Weaving's boyfriend, the actor's name is escaping me, but he was just in that movie Femme. He was the main star of that one. But for the most part, it's just Samara Weaving the whole time fighting this cult and trying to save her boyfriend. And goddamn badass fucking movie. I don't know why this is not getting more attention. It really deserves
Reverse
it.
Mandy.
Yeah, because it's a Shudder movie and they don't really push them hard theatrically. It's just the way they always do it.
They try with the Satanic movie. It was really good.
Satanic.
Panic. Yeah, the TV show one. That was the one that they pushed the hardest.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that one makes sense though.
Late Night with the Devil.
Late Night with the Devil. Yeah, Satanic Panic's the thing too.
But yeah, this one's really just a normal Shudder. We're gonna dump it in theaters about a month before it hit Shudder, versus Late Night with the Devil, where they're pushing it as a theatrical movie. They kind of do them a little differently, because we get a lot of these Shudder ones that are just dumped in the theaters. We get it for a couple weeks and then it hits Shudder. Which this one, well, I agree with Dan. This is a very good film, despite some theming elements I'm not a fan of. But it still worked for me. I knew Dan was going to love it, and I'm pretty sure everyone else, when you guys get to see it, which you can see it October 25th is when it hits Shudder.
Okay.
But yeah, overall,
I fucking loved everything about this movie. Because again, I mean, at its core, it's a nonstop action horror movie, but I love the world. These creatures in the woods that
Ben Grimm and Steve are asking, should they see it in theaters or wait for streaming?
I'd say in theaters.
I'm asking Todd.
With the date announced, there's nothing in the movie that's going to justify I need to see it on the biggest screen possible. That said,
I completely disagree with this.
You do on everything when it's like this, Dan. That's why Pugs is asking me. But I do think it is worth, seeing in a theater to support it. But I don't think there's anything that dictates that like it needs to be seen on the biggest screen possible.
I'm surprised you'd say that too with an action movie with the gore and everything. I mean, I know you tend to think that with the smaller dialogue driven stuff, but like this to me, you do get a little bit more out of the experience in a dark theater on a big screen.
Okay, yes, you're going to be more into it. It's going to be a lot easier to drift off onto your phone at home. So if you're going like that, but the question is it theater worthy? I don't know how to answer that, because for Pug, 100% wait for streaming, because that's where he's going to get his best experience out of it. It really depends on the person.
Well,
what about me?
I think you should see it too.
I will say, off of Dan and Todd's review, I think you should see it in the theater.
I mean, say the same thing.
There's something.
Steve, we're going.
There's something for everybody, I think, in this one. Actually, I mean,
I know you will.
Yeah,
I don't think you'll be disappointed if you go to see it, but I know getting this, they don't have a lot of screens on this, so
yeah.
A little bit more than our second film, I noticed. A lot of people were having trouble seeing our second theatrical for some reason, but no, I mean, if you love Samara, and just they built such a fascinating world. I mean, I know we're not going to get more in this world, but holy shit! Like, I'd love to see a little bit more, particularly with the creatures that are in the woods, which, by the way, the makeup effects here, the gore, everything is top notch. And I know somebody maybe in Discord or maybe on Twitter had asked me if being dialogue free for essentially the entire movie hurt it. Not at all. I understood exactly what people's motivations were the entire time. And I think it was tense. It was kick-ass fucking movie.
Steve is asking, is it more entertaining than A Violent Nature?
Yes, two different kinds of films, but yeah.
I say no, but I like that movie better. So,
yeah.
But once you see the movie,
thing.
It is. I said there's thematic elements that automatically make me like the movie we're talking about a little less.
Ben Grimm is also saying, I mostly mean, is the cinematography cinematic enough where a big screen would be a benefit?
Yes. 100% for me.
It's too gray for me to say yes to that, so no.
Okay.
All right. Well, what do you rate it, Todd?
Dan, it's a lot of grays. The picture's gonna look better watching at home with the black levels done properly.
You're selling me.
Yeah. Well, no, Dan's shaking his head because he's like fucking mastered audio video at home.
It's fucking there's no different setting. It's out of the box.
I think
exactly.
I think your opinion is I don't. If I'm gonna rate a movie, certainly a 4 or above, I consider that theater worthy no matter what. This, I think you get more out of it.
You're looking at it at the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's not the question.
And we got to support these things. I have a strong opinion.
And I said that, but see, that's not the question. Your question is always your answer is always going to be yes, unless you don't like the movie, Dan. That's the way you are.
Not necessarily with certain things. I can see like a comedy.
If you like the movie, you will.
You just said anything above a 4 is either worthy.
If it's above a 4, yeah, probably. But comedy.
So anything you like,
just reinforce what he said.
I like something. I give a 3. I think your opinion sucks, Dad. I'm sorry. So I'm a 5 on this movie, and I think you should go see it at the theater and support something really fucking good.
I am now a 0 because Dan's a cocksucker, and I'm leaving.
That's fine. All right. Todd gives it a 0. I give it a 5.
Whoa, let's not pile on Dan. That's what we do here. We love Dan, but he's dumb. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean,
I think your opinion is
okay. Well, Dan, that is fucking disrespectful because I have never said any. No. Fuck you, Dan. Because I didn't. No. I'll call you stupid, but now you're just disrespecting my opinion. That's the whole fucking point of the show, Dan. You can eat a big bag of fucking dicks.
All right, you gave it a 0. I gave it a 5.
No, I gave it a 3 if you would have been paying attention, you stupid fuck.
He gave you a big
dicks. Go check it out. Let us know what you think. Is it theater worthy?
And 25, watch it at home.
Or is it just a throwaway Blumhouse movie that you can watch at home? Let us know in the comments.
They watch those at home too.
Those ones I will give you that. We wouldn't be having
you still like those.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no, The Passenger. That's not true. There are a few.
But
did you see that one in theater, Dan?
That wasn't playing in the theater.
I know.
So that one, you had no choice either way. I don't think that had any theatrical anywhere that I'm aware of. So.
Okay, shut up, Dan. Next
All
movie.
right. So next non-theater worthy piece of shit that you can watch at home right now on Shudder. 8 Eyes from director. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not giving my opinion.
I mean, if we're cool with Vinegar Syndrome.
I kind of shit on him already because I was.
Oh, okay, then fuck him.
I was mad about the Cannibal the Musical stuff.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you did.
That's right.
That was dirty shit.
I get it.
I stand with Dan. Sit down, bebop.
Thank you. I stand with Dan. Let's make it trend on Twitter. All right. Did I say who directed
Please
this
don't.
yet? From director Austin Jennings, 8 Eyes. And this is the first Vinegar Syndrome original production. I know that there's supposed to be more on the way. So
it wasn't on DVD first? Are we not going to have that today?
All right.
Stop poking the bear, pugs. We're trying to move on, bastard.
All right. American tourists Cass and Gab are backpacking their way across the Balkans. Shortly after crashing a wedding, they run into a mysterious Slav who goes by Saint Peter. Offering to give them an authentic tour of the region, the young couple take him up on the proposal, but soon fall prey to St. Peter's increasingly strange and manipulative behaviors, culminating with Gab's sudden disappearance. Desperate to find him and confident that St. Peter is somehow connected to his vanishing, Cass is pulled deeper and deeper into a web of violence as she comes to realize St. Peter's terrifying true intention.
See, that gives away too much. I'm glad I went in blind.
That's the Vinegar Syndrome synopsis.
Yeah, that gives away way too fucking much. All they needed to say was two people visiting Serbia, but get with a shady character. That would have been way better. I'm glad I didn't read any of that because I just saw it was on our list and threw it on. I'm tagging my fucking self in because I love this movie.
Real quick before you do, Austin Jennings. Sorry, Austin Jennings, also behind Last Drive-In, Joe Bob Briggs. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So, go for it, Kruger.
I fucking love this movie. It took me on a great ride. Very Texas Chainsaw Massacre-esque in certain aspects, but it also doubles as like extreme horror, which we have gotten before with like What the Waters Leave Behind and shit like that. But this kind of takes it to a different level because there's also this other aspect I don't really want to give away, but there's an aspect that's added on top of that is really, really fucking badass. And we got some amazing like psychedelic visuals due to that element, which I was all about. I loved also just the way this movie looks. It looks like it was an older film, and one of the best examples of that too that I've seen in a while, where they're trying to make it look like something from like the 70s or 80s, even though like there's like Call of Duty posters and shit on there. I don't think they were trying to like pass it off as it took place in then, but it was for like aesthetic purposes, and I think it really worked for this awesomely. And goddamn, some really fucking badass gore, and like especially towards the end, really awesome practical effects. I had a blast with it. I again went in completely blind, not knowing what to expect, and what I got just made me really, really fucking happy. I loved. I forget what his name is, but his name in the movie, his normal name, but Saint Peter, yeah, Saint Peter,
Bruno Veljanovsky.
That character, first off, I just thought anytime he was on screen, he kind of just ate up everything. Like, he's awesome. I want to see him in more stuff. And he played like,
you want to see him wrestle, right? Like, he had that type of image.
Worker. Yeah. He had a worker look for sure. Yeah, man, I had a really great fucking time with this movie. And with the world they built upon, I mean, I would not be opposed to seeing a sequel, because I think there's still a lot more you can do with this. So yeah, definitely check it out. If you're like a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you'll get, I think, a lot out of this. Also a fan of extreme horror or just really trippy visuals. It has all of that kind of mashed into one, which is probably why I liked it so much.
Good call.
What'd you think, Bugs?
I enjoyed it too. I don't think I love it as much as Kruger does, but this was a damn good time. I especially love the scenes on the train. It felt like a longer version of like Hostel. You know, when they're on like traveling through the other countries. It felt like that. So like it took me there too. And then St. Peter, give him his. Let's just hang out with that guy. I want to know what he does on his other off time. He fucking ruled. The main characters were very sympathetic. I was rooting for them, even though I loved St. Peter and everything else that's going on. So this is a solid fucking movie, and I would love to see a follow up to this or even a prequel to this. Yeah, just more from this team. I'm glad they're doing what they're doing now. This is exciting. I liked it a lot.
Awesome. Todd, you mind putting up Indy's comment there? Because he had a question I want to help about with.
Hey, Dan, I want Vinegar Syndrome to return to those adult releases. New labels don't do it for me. I like seeing the mix of adult and the regular release on the shelf.
Well, Vinegar Syndrome does still do adult releases. Melusine, that has all their adult releases. I don't think that's
what he's saying. He acknowledges the new label doesn't do it for me. He likes.
Okay, I don't know if you're talking about
that. Wasn't really a question, Dan. That's a statement, and you're
one of the other.
He got excited because he's. I know.
I don't mind that. There's still Vinegar Syndrome. Do you want to sell it? They have.
I never looked at the other site now. I'll be honest. I'm with Indy. They separating it did a disservice for me because, well, one, I can't even get my orders combined, so I don't give a shit anymore. So
no, I can combine my orders. My last.
No, I understand that. I said I can't. That my accounts aren't linked together.
Oh, okay.
And yeah. So.
That sucks. I use my points pretty much on the Melusine stuff, but yeah. Yeah. So all right. Anyways, 8 Eyes. So this one. It took me a little bit to get to it, quite frankly. I didn't get to watch it. I know it had some limited festival and different screenings earlier this year. It's a throwback to old Euro horror of the 70s, particularly Italian horror. And very rarely are people able to pull that off anymore. There's just always something missing from just the aesthetics not quite there, the mood's not quite there. We talk about it a lot in the wrestling world. A lot of people just don't look like they used to. So something just takes you out of it. I'd say the film grain, just the general look of this movie is perfect. They do a really good job, even though, as Kruger said, it's not meant to be, 1974, whenever but it felt like they could have just made it in that time. Like it really did a great job on that front. Some of the psychedelic shit that they throw in at the end gave me flashbacks to some of Fulci's stuff, Lizard in a Woman's Skin. Again, they shot this in Serbia and Macedonia, so the look of it is beautiful. Shoot more stuff there. I did have that perfect look. Now, you mentioned St. Peter. Bruno Veljanovsky, if you didn't recognize him, was also in another film that we're covering tonight. I agree. He is great villain in this. The other character named Wax Baby, who's essentially Leatherface, or a more perverted.
Way more perverted Leatherface.
Fucking loved him. I can't believe I didn't talk about him. He's my favorite.
Mine too. And his
we need to make
weapon,
that mask, dude.
And his weapon was very, very fucking cool.
Yes. That
and
heavy.
Sometimes it be like that. Fuck.
Heavy TCM vibes, and we get a lot. I mean, shit tons of not particularly now 90s and of course 80s throwback stuff. We don't get as much from this 70s European type stuff, and I think this is a rare one that actually nails it. Really perfect. First, the
soundtrack
original.
Too. The soundtrack did wonders.
Yeah, I agree. It really did. And it doesn't go full. You mentioned Hostel. I was thinking this was going to go heavy into the torture. It really doesn't. Again, it feels authentic.
It was
to
just
the
that
time.
Train scene, like just the traveling across.
Yeah, I mean, I can see Hostel vibes for sure, just because of the going to a remote country and having fucked up shit happen to you.
Yeah. I don't know if it's perfect, but I think they do a great
Wouldn't say
job.
it's perfect, but yeah.
Yeah, there a couple little things, but overall, I think I'm very curious to see what Austin Jennings does next, because I think he did quite a bit on I'm sure not a huge budget. So, what would you like to see Vinegar Syndrome do next, Todd? Before you talk about the movie,
combine the websites.
Well, I meant their next original, but
I really don't have any. Yeah, I don't. Whatever they want to do next, I don't really have any. Yeah, I don't give a. I would say I don't give a shit, but I don't have any grand plans for. I don't know what their label is anymore. It's not what I fell in love with, so I don't know how to answer that question. You know what I mean?
So would you like them to return to old form? Then?
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with their original programming. That has to do with their lineups. But that's a whole nother thing. So I really don't know how to answer that question. But this one, it took me probably about 30 minutes to really get into it. But once I did, I was in for the ride. It just, I don't know. I don't know if it was me, the mood, whatever.
It was the woman.
Maybe
she was so hot though. Oh my god.
Yeah, but she didn't get annoying.
Yeah. One thing I have to correct everyone for: this was shot on film. There's no film look to it. This is 100% shot on film.
Yeah.
So that is, that alone is going to make it look like a better film than half the crap that's coming out today. So, yeah, the VS label has done a 180. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, 100%. The Tenet does not fit in my Vinegar Syndrome, but whatever. Yeah, I definitely think this is worth checking out. If you could have saw it on a big screen, this is definitely the kind of picture you would go see on.
I mean, I would.
Yeah, it's got great visuals.
Even I say yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gray for the whole movie, so there's color and it pops and there's stuff happening.
I can't. So Todd, like, I can't tell if you liked it or not, though, because like,
it's one of those things where, like,
I think with Texas Chainsaw Massacre ripoffs, you don't gravitate towards them because
it's hard.
Because I feel like this is a similar movie to what The Waters Left Behind, and like,
and I didn't like that.
And you were not into that one.
Yeah, I didn't. Like I said, the first half hour, it wasn't. I really don't know the full answer yet. My rating will reflect where I'm at. I feel like I need to watch it again.
Probably. And watch it higher.
It's pretty high.
I think you need to watch it higher.
Maybe I wasn't. Okay, I'll double the cookies up. But yeah, so.
Because I like, literally, I was like the perfect high and fucking... I had such a goddamn good time, especially when the visuals kicked in at the end. I was just like, all right, we're I just took some mushrooms to go on this trip.
Super Mario Bros. Right now.
But it's definitely one. Yeah, like I'm gonna grab is it a Blu-ray or 4K, Dan? I don't even remember.
Blu-ray.
All right, that's shocking. Why, if they shot it on film, why wouldn't it? Anyway, yeah, I'll definitely pick it up. I do want to see it again. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe TerraVision will release the 4K eventually.
I'd like to see
Steve L.
Being
I still have not seen Megaflopolis yet. So I'm see if I can
crap.
Dude, Steve has a vendetta against that movie. I think he's going to kill Francis Ford Coppola.
Well, yeah, him and his buddy can go. Well, never mind. All right. How was Reagan, Steve?
Dude, he kept trying to get me to go see that shit. I'm like, fuck you.
It's actually kind of funny that Dennis Quaid had that and Substance out at a theater at the same time.
That's true.
He's another reason why I think you had a lot of the olds at the theater. A lot of old ladies like
I think it's just hilarious that like these old fucks just got like duped into going to a total disgusting body horror movie. But back to Eight Eyes, like seriously, I highly recommend this, especially now that it's streaming on Shudder. Like this is one of the best movies I've watched on Shudder all year.
I would be curious how well it's selling.
When did the Blu-ray come out, by the way?
It's 3 months ago, maybe.
Okay, so this does count as 20.
Oh yeah, no, this is this year.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure because I saw the date, but I know like we always do when we're able to get our hands on it. So
Yeah, I'm curious how it's selling because it's a
There's-
newer movie, and I don't know if the Vinegar Syndrome
There-
diehards are as interested.
I didn't buy it automatically. I'm glad I got to see it on Shudder first. 3,000 units, and they're still above. There used to be a way to check what the stock was. You put it in your cart, then you go back. I don't remember how you do it.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah,
know
there
that.
used to be a way, and I don't know if anyone remembers. Then you could check. Yeah, it still says over 1,000 left. So
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, a lot doesn't sell out immediately. I'm not expecting this to, but I'd just be curious. I wonder if it's doing well enough that they'll continue.
Yeah, we brought that up. Indie Phantom says Dennis Quaid was brought in to replace Ray Liotta in The Substance.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Well,
It was a lot darker. Yeah.
he's also really good in 1992. I'm not too biased on that.
Haven't seen it yet, but I will.
Yeah, Steve said he really likes it, but again, not my cup of tea. I don't watch fucking anything that's not horror or has a monster in it. So unless it's a sad wrestling movie, then I get fucking watch that.
I was gonna say, there's a few.
You started Heels yet? Now that it's on Netflix.
Oh no, I forgot.
There you go,
I
man.
need to
Start watching it. I want my fucking season 3. Goddamn!
I know. I gotta watch. Dan, you too.
I want a new segment where Kruger reviews just something not like he has to review like a chick flick, and just I want to see this like.
Well,
Kruger
Dan, this will only
reviews
happen
that.
when you're in town and you're in the same venue. Then that can.
Wait,
Are you down for that?
Wait till I get another girlfriend, then we'll talk.
I think it would be funny. I want to see that segment.
Well, but what are you
Sensibility.
gonna watch, Dan? What do you get to get
I'll
tortured? What does Kruger get to
anything.
pick to torture you?
There's not a lot that I'll
Sam
look
Ritter catalog coming.
No,
soon,
it's
Dan.
good. Yeah, it's gonna be some it's gonna be some fucking Extreme Associates gay porn.
Well, Sam Ritter, that's the star. That's good old Stephen Jeffries from Fright Night.
See, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Dan brings them up all the time. It's his favorite.
I don't.
All right, we
I
need
don't
to get back to 8 Eyes and rate this before we
let's
get into the
rated.
Extreme
All right.
Associate.
All right, what do you rate it, Kruger?
I am a 4 out of 5, and honestly, there's room to grow with that. I think this is going to make my top 10. Honestly, because I had such a good time, and I'm so happy I went in blind. Like reading that synopsis, I feel like would have like kind of ruined a lot for me because I was like really engaged. I was like, okay, people traveling to Serbia. The last time I saw a Serbian film was pretty fucking awesome. So I was compelled, and I loved it. 4 out of 5, high recommendation from me.
All right, Pugs.
I am also a 4 out of 5. This is great. Check it out. ASAP.
I'm a 4 out of 5 as well. Like I said, yeah.
I said my rating reflected. I'm a 3 out of 5. So
See, I knew you would be around that because that's exactly what you rated. What the Waters left behind.
I love my Leatherface. I can't even.
No,
I don't like the remakes. You know that. I mean, I'm Hewitt. Fuck. I want to just punch myself. In the face. I'm sorry,
you're wearing that shirt.
I thought you liked the beginning.
I like elements of both of them. I love Arlie Emery in that one. So that's the thing.
See. I think the beginning's better than the remake. Personally,
I think there's a good movie. You take both of those movies. There's a good movie in there. But did we talk about this one?
Yeah, you gotta watch them back to back.
Yeah. But there is a question I saw. I'm gonna bring it up. Hold on. Where'd it go?
Well, I'm gonna answer Indie Phantom because Todd's not watching Mega Flop List unless it gets nominated for an Oscar, right?
Oh, or unless it times out with something. I'm bringing up Indie Phantoms.
Kruger needs to do an Oscar run just once, brother. Don't fucking do that.
How much? No. I'm gonna say this. How much money would it take for you to do it? And we'll make it a Patreon tier. If the Kruger gets the money, he has to watch.
Bear in mind, though, that might be like 40 movies or something.
40 movies?
It might even be more sometimes.
Let's assume.
Indy, can we wait till after I'm done wrestling so I could actually have time to do this shit?
Just asking a number at the moment. We don't know if we'll reach it.
1,200? What?
1,200.
I mean, I wouldn't charge our fans $1,000 of my time.
$666.
Yeah, there you go. 666.
Well, Dan wants some crazy amount for a stupid fucking hat.
$1,000.
He left that hat in my room
$1,000?
so many times. He's lucky I didn't shit.
Well,
on it. I just rubbed my balls.
Since
on
I
it,
care about you fans and your wallets, $666.
All right,
If you-
we'll make
It's
it
a big commitment. That's a bargain. Especially Kruger fucking hates that shit.
And you know what?
Dude,
For
dude, I would-
$665, I'll watch all the Sam Ritter movies. I'm cheap. I'll do it. I'm
All right, well,
shameless.
you know what? We could pull something
Both
for
tapes
that
are
one.
up right now.
You're gonna have to dig up those tapes. I don't know where to get Sam Ritter's movies, but
Bullshit. You
A
look behind
lot.
you, Dan. It's right there.
By the
Well,
way,
they're
I
We're
love.
all right next to Fright Light in between that and 976 Evil.
Can
Doesn't
you
it?
Oh, there you go.
imagine the-
Indie Phantom's meeting you in the middle. Pesos. Kruger could just do the picture category, best picture category. That's like 10.
Yeah.
Christ.
I'm changing the subject. By the way, I do like this shit. The fact that
Yeah.
the fucking
The new. I got tired of everyone asking, "What movie are you talking about?"
no, that's better because if people want to just skip to the shit, now we need to do.
Oh, well,
like,
now I don't want to do it if they're gonna skip us. Fuck that.
well,
We do
no,
need
skip.
timestamps.
Yeah, I was gonna say like we should put out timestamps for each movie now, and it would be easier to track.
you're gonna miss all the threats of violence and everything if you
Steve
skip us. Come
says,
on.
"I can't wait to drug Kruger and take him to Wicked."
And then when it's done, you tell
Wait.
them that was just part one.
Wait, what's Wicked?
Oh, you're getting fucked
the
up.
Oz
Steve.
movie.
Oh, I see. I wouldn't have a problem with that because I love Wizard of Oz.
Okay,
I don't think you're gonna like Wicked, Kruger, but maybe.
I've been to the
Maybe.
musical. I thought it was cool. So, The Daily Ghost, Flesh Wound features. Love the movie title posters on the side. All right, glad
You guys have been
nice.
asking us something, so I finally figured out. I figured what better way to start it than for October.
And here we are.
And
There you go.
I still
And Daily
wanna
Ghost
fill in
says yes.
some dates.
Timestamps. Yeah. Still want to what?
Well,
Put fan
motherfuckers,
base?
send me the timestamps and I'll do it. Why do I got to do all the goddamn?
You produce it. You write it down.
Everyone else got weirdos that fucking send them all the answers.
I'm told AI will do that now, but I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
that
know.
works.
You have no idea how AI works.
He only goes
He has
to
a good
tell-
time with it.
Motherfucker doesn't even know how to work PayPal, and he's trying to fucking suggest AI.
I've learned the PayPal. All right. Up next. All right. We got our other
I got to change the
theatrical.
graphic. Okay, there we go.
Cool.
It's funny. While Dan's looking at his nuts, I'll just tell you guys.
I got it, but go for it.
I was funny because I was like, fuck, I really didn't want to go see another movie. And I was like, is this some stupid Dan movie I'm gonna hate? That was the thing I asked him. And he said no. He knew what I meant, but then because immediately he's like, did you already see the other Azrael? I was like,
Is this something I'd want to see in a theater?
yeah,
that will be asked. Yeah.
I've been grumpy. God damn it. I'm old.
He's
All
grumpy
right.
because he just had your ass living with him for like 2 weeks.
It doesn't help.
I am a delight.
There's nothing wrong with blasting Ariana Grande in the face.
All right, Dan, go ahead. Let's talk.
All
about it.
right. So, from director Colin McCarthy, we have Bagman. And in this film, when a sinister threat from his childhood returns to haunt him, a father desperately struggles against his deepest inner fear, only this time, the fight isn't for himself, it's for his family. All right. So, Bagman is the one I was talking about, but it doesn't seem like it got quite as much.
Oh, my homie's in it?
Which homie?
Is that what you were saying? The guy from Eight Eyes? I
No.
thought that-
No. He's Hellhole. He's in Hellhole.
Is he?
Another.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch. I need to
Yeah.
go watch it again.
It's
then.
another film shot in Serbia. Well, I'll get into that, but
Yeah.
so Bagman. This is very meat and potatoes, urban legend kind of horror. There's different variations I know of the Bagman. I think
I never
Spain-
heard the legend, but I could tell it felt like it one that had its history.
Yeah, just this sort of really creepy character that kidnaps children, throws them in a bag, and like I said, meat and potatoes. There's a good deal of the typical cliches in here. I enjoyed the cast. I thought the family was very likable.
Bootleg James Marsden was good.
James Marsden.
Yes.
He's probably a
Cyclops, yeah.
little
I was
bit
waiting for
better than
Sonic
James
to fill up.
Marsden. I might rank him a little bit higher than James Marsden, to be honest. I mean, it's super formulaic. I think the concept's cool. There's some points in the movie where it's like a little bit too dark to see what's going on.
So you should watch it at home.
Minor complaint. Well, this one you might be fine watching at home. I will give you that on this one. It's got a really cool final act. It's like a better than normal Bloom movie.
I was gonna say this is like what like I was kind of like in the beginning. I was like, "Fuck, this is gonna be just Bloom wannabe," but it's like what Bloom should be or was. So
yeah, perfectly acceptable. It's not gonna blow your mind, but creepy, likable characters.
Yeah, everything about it. Like, I have no complaints. I don't think like Kruger, you're gonna see him be like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever." But I think you'll have a decent enough time with it. Same with Pugs, but it's nothing that I don't think it's gonna hit any of our top 10.
Is it gonna come out on a streaming service?
I'm sure. I just don't know when. Because it's not a Shudder picture.
No, it's not.
Is it maybe Screenbox?
No, well, there was no logo ahead of it, so I don't know if any of them are going to grab it. There was no logos that would tip off, okay, this is going to stream on there. But I do think it is worth checking out.
Yeah, I couldn't find a theatrical anywhere.
I've heard that from a lot of people too. It's just like, I wanted to see it, but it's not anywhere.
That's why I had to go. I go today. Like it was always at like 9:45, but today there was like a 12:40, so I managed to get it in before the show. So, but yeah, it's been hard one to, and obviously it hasn't lined up with anything else, so I couldn't double it up. So, yeah, I mean, if you got it, I say check it out while it's in theaters. But again, it's nothing that's. I think you'll be fine waiting for streaming. The difference with this at 8eyes, or not 8eyes, sorry, the Azrael is, when that's going to be streaming. This one, it could be we're still waiting on the horror story one. What is the Indian one?
Oh, dude, fucking Malibu Horror Story. I've been waiting for fucking a year.
That again, so I don't know if it's going to be a case like that, but that one's a shame because that's a great picture.
Ben Grimm's not selling me on this. What he brought up, I say this is like those straight to DVD horror that got franchises back in the day, like Darkness Falls or Boogeyman, that kind of movie.
Darkness Falls is the
I think it's better than that. And now that my brain is working,
there was
one of those.
This was actually from Lionsgate, so we should get it on digital relatively soon.
Wait, so what's Darkness Falls? Is that the Tooth Fairy movie?
Yeah.
That got a sequel?
No.
Yeah, that is weird, but I think he's the franchise.
I was about to say it's
well,
a sequel to Darkness Falls. I'm gonna flip out.
It's two separate things because like I said, straight to DVD horror franchise back in the day.
That's those movies. Okay, that makes sense.
And then like Darkness Falls or Boogie.
Well, shit, I love Darkness Falls. So,
but I get what you're saying too. But there's, like I said, there's nothing. Those are just like fun, nothing new.
Do you like Darkness Falls, Pugs?
Nah.
I haven't seen it in years.
I don't think it's like absolute dog shit. I just remember going like, I'm good.
When I saw it when I was really young.
It's a good comparison to this one. You'll be entertained. I'll probably forget about this one in all honesty in 6 months, but it's fine. I enjoyed it well enough.
The thing with Darkness Falls that was always working against it, because if you were following the picture at the time, when it was the Tooth Fairy, it had totally different like effects, and then they came in and they did the CG stuff that we have now that doesn't really hold up. So they got all new CG. I don't remember if it was practical before, but they changed the entire design and it looks totally different. I don't remember.
So there isn't practical in the movie? I remember there being practical effects in Darkness.
Did they read? It's been so long. I don't remember the exact.
Did they fucking Disney it? If they Disneyed it, I'm gonna be really upset.
No, they didn't go back and do anything to Darkness.
I was gonna say.
They did. They did it before it came out.
Good.
I know there's at least some shots in that movie that are practical.
I'll have to look up exactly what happened with that. But yeah, there was a totally different version. Let me see.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Did that ever leak? Because I never watched that.
That movie got an action figure, actually.
From Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
I had it.
I remember the opening being really good, and then it's just kind of like, fine.
I don't know. I like Tooth Fairy movies. What was that other one that Guillermo del Toro produced? With the little tooth fairies. You know what I'm
Oh.
talking about? It was a little girl.
Are you
And
talking Mama?
no.
Not
It was
Tooth Fairies.
a little girl, and wait, am I thinking? See,
Okay.
I'm. What?
I think you're
When?
thinking something else.
No, there was a movie, like fucking maybe in like the early 2010s, and it was produced by Guillermo del Toro, and it was about Tooth Fairy and this little girl fucking being terrorized by these tiny tooth fairies.
Pan's
No, not
Labyrinth?
Pan's Labyrinth. It was produced by Guillermo, not made by.
Ben Grimm saying, "Don't be afraid."
Don't be afraid of the dark. Yes.
Oh, the remake. Yeah, I forget that he did that.
No, it wasn't a remake.
Don't be afraid of the dark.
Dark is the remake.
Oh, it is.
It's a remake.
It was
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
Of a much better movie.
A classic made for TV movie from the 70s.
We're talking with the fairies.
Yeah. It stars what's her name from Halloween 6, the mother. I can't think of her name right now.
I've never seen the original. I actually really enjoyed that movie.
You might like the newer one better, I'll be honest. I did find out the Darkness Falls thing, so if anyone's interested, initially the film was to have established Kyle Walsh as more explicitly troubled while keeping the actual existence of the Tooth Fairy vague and undefined in order to make audiences question whether Kyle was the killer. Matilda Dillon was also established as being a younger widow with a husband who was lost at sea rather than an older woman as depicted in the final film. After completion, the producers heavily truncated the final cut, removing character backstory as well as explained details on the Darkness Falls curse, and made the film much more upfront and explicit with the Tooth Fairy as the main antagonist rather than any suggestion that Kyle may be the killer.
So they Nightmare on Elm Street it.
Yeah.
We need to make toys.
But I don't know. It doesn't mention anything of the look being changed. I do remember that the look was changed because I remember unless it was before the design, but there's 100% a different look. Does the Darkness Falls figure look like the one in the movie, or is that the old design?
I think
because
I know he took liberty with Blair Witch, but other than that, I don't know.
Stop Mandela affecting me, Todd.
Well, no. I know there's some. I can't remember which it is. It may be the one that the McFarlane toy put out the original design. And
no, you're thinking the Blair Witch.
If you give me 1 minute, I'll show you and
go get it.
Well, I don't remember what it looks like, but you can grab it. But yeah, the Blair Witch was just he had to make that up. But there was one that was a.
I thought that was based off a concept.
Oh, maybe it was, but there was another one that was based off a concept that was released, but the design actually changed before the.
If you
film.
Mandela affect me, I go back and watch this movie and it's all CGI. I'm gonna punch you, Todd.
See, I don't remember that part well enough because it's been.
I remember a really awesome practical Tooth Fairy.
There was also that other movie called The Tooth Fairy.
Can anybody else help me with this? Is it a practical Tooth Fairy in this fucking movie or not?
Dan's gonna go get the figure. Maybe that'll trigger the memory, clear it up a little bit.
Yeah, because I feel like it's
been too long for me to remember one way or the other. But
yeah.
See, that's not the original design. I don't remember the movie well enough to answer the question.
Yeah, neither do I. It's fine. Again,
because I remember the original design being super gray, and I remember the actual the actual movie design being that color or being like orange, and I remember the original design being more gray. So I don't know if that's the only difference.
You're a fuck me up now. I'm
gonna
be looking this up the whole rest of the show. Did you guys rate it?
No, we did not.
Oh well, let's do that.
What do you rate it, Todd?
What the hell are we talking?
Bagman.
Oh, Bagman. I'm a 3.5. I had a solid enough time. It may end up being forgettable when it comes down to it.
3.5?
Yeah, but from my experience, I thought it was good. It was worth the watch, and I say check it out. Nothing, like I said, this is middle of the road. This is like, I don't mean in the bad way. It's like this. Yeah, this works on different levels. Hold on, sorry, I got other shit playing. Go ahead.
Well, I'm 2.5. I mean,
Never
it's
get
fine
the poster
for a one-time watch. That's average for me.
All right.
And
all right, Todd.
Yes,
that is the design. You're thinking but the other design does look a lot like the Blair Witch figure, but there is an unused design in Darkness Falls that fucking looks like kind of similar to a Blair Witch figure. So I think you were getting them mixed up.
Maybe that is then. All right. Ben gave it a 3.5 is above. Yeah, I put it at above average. I mean, my enjoyment was, yeah. I don't know, maybe because I was expecting a piece of shit, I'll be honest, and Dan can attest to that. And I went, I was like, yeah, this was cool. I like the characters. Maybe it's also part of the parent in me too. Like, that's a little bit more tense now. Your child.
It'll hit more, yeah.
So
I mean, child abduction, something that you can't fight traditionally.
Yeah.
Too.
That's
Yes.
That's actually something me and JD Horror were talking about when we were at Primo's, is like a lot of the movies that work for him now that didn't work for him like as much is like the older he's becoming like a parent like kid shit really affects him heavily. And like I think we were talking about that one Netflix movie. I think it was an Indian flick that he really enjoyed, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And he explained, like, when you have kids, it adds a whole different element.
Absolutely, yeah. So it might hit harder depending who you are, but I did enjoy it. All right. So up next from Shudder, we have Hellhole, which is directed by the Addams family, John Adams and Toby Poser. I do. And in this film, Hellhole hails from the filmmaking family behind Hellbender and centers on an American-led fracking crew that uncovers a living French soldier frozen in time from a Napoleonic campaign whose body hosts a parasitic monster. Now, you mentioned it. I am a big fan of the Addams family. I thought Hellbender was fantastic. Where the Devil Roams, I thought was really awesome. Probably my favorite Tubi original. This one, for me, I think it's a step back for them because I really like these esoteric films that they made that are not made for a mass audience, and I'll totally admit that with the Addams family, they're not. This one is a little bit closer to just being standard creature feature, and I'm not saying it's a bad one necessarily, although it's not great. I think it's a little repetitive. I think some of the characters are kind of bland, if I'm being honest. This was also shot in Serbia, featured the same actor we were talking about earlier. It's kind of a mix of CGI and some practical. Again, nothing awful. This movie may be perfectly entertaining for you, but I don't know. This is not something that I particularly want to see from them. Now, rating it, though, in all fairness, is just a movie. I'm not going to judge it just based on the director going a direction I didn't like. It's perfectly fine. I enjoyed it. It just wasn't great. It's tough. It's kind of like when you start seeing Tobe Hooper do something like Crocodile. I like cheesy creature features and sci-fi originals, so I have fun with Crocodile. But at first, it's like, yeah, this is not what I want to see from the director of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I get it. And
then you saw Jin.
You're giving him a little too much credit there, brother. There ain't no Tobe Hooper.
Well, I fucking love the Addams family based on what they did before this. Now, this might be something that gives them more jobs too. You know, again, Hellbender is not, for everybody, but I would have liked to have seen them gone the A24 route, give them something a little more unique rather than this. But there is some.
I'm sure they would have liked that too.
Yeah,
you know what was missing? One of their daughters, I believe Zelda, was off at college, so one of the daughters wasn't involved, and maybe that threw things off. But they just they have to operate. They have to operate as a unit to make magic. It's fine. It's another one though. I'll forget about it pretty quick. And
I'll be honest, I already kind of did.
I figured you'd like it more actually because it isn't. Although you liked Hellbender, right, Todd? I thought you might have actually liked it.
I don't remember the other one though. I looked at the poster. And I was like,
the Carney one.
The other one. Yeah, I liked it, but I liked it for visuals. I didn't really like the story.
Well,
yeah, no, this
one. Kruger?
Oh, sorry. No,
no,
go ahead, Todd.
I was just going to reiterate. Yeah, it was just too. I don't know. It felt just like Shudder fluff.
Well,
so I was uninterested.
let me tell you, I did not like Hellbender like whatsoever. I still don't get. I just don't fucking get it. I don't get it. And then the other movie, like, it was okay, but again, I just didn't like it. I actually think I may have liked that one less, the Carney one. This one, out of all their movies, I think is probably the one that most pertains to me and my like the audience of what I like. So I didn't like love it or anything, but I appreciated the attempt, and I thought that they, made a decent little creature feature with a, very little to no budget, with, a team that they exclusively work with. Some of the CGI definitely doesn't look the greatest, but there is enough practical stuff in there where I'm a little forgiving, and I know their situation, and I kind of appreciate that they went out of their comfort zone and went and did something completely different than their last two movies. Because granted, their last two movies are very different, but this is, they're kind of crossing all genres, I feel like right now. And this is their creature feature. And out of everything that the Addams Family has done, this is probably my favorite. But still, at that, I'm just not really a big fan of their work. But this one, I would say I got the most enjoyment out of their last over the last two films.
So would you say you're looking forward to see what they do next now?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't looking forward to this.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm saying.
But here's the thing: I wasn't looking forward to this, knowing it was an Addams Family thing. I saw the trailer and I was like, "Oh, this looks good." And then I saw who it was from, and I was like, "This may go a certain way for me," but it didn't. And it didn't disappoint me. It gave me about the expectations I expected.
All right.
Well, for me, I was expecting it to be a little more weird, a little more like Addams Family. Yeah. But no, this just seems like an exercise of, can we make a more normal movie? And you can.
They're playing off the thing. 110%. So.
That's another issue when you remind me of a masterpiece like that, and you're that close to it. It's like a.
Yeah, but I did enjoy like the characters, like the main chick. I fucking loved her. I would have followed her into war. Like she won me over. But yeah, everything else is just like, it's just okay. I would not leave the house to see this. I'm glad I was able to see it at home. I would have been upset. They would have. My rating was a lot lower. Yeah. Oh yeah, wow, we know Dan. You don't like.
Yeah, I know. Shocker. The one Dan doesn't like, don't see in theaters.
Yeah, but it's there. It's fine. I'm not impressed.
Well, fair enough on this one. I thought I would be the lone defender again, and I'm not. But yeah. Any closing thoughts? Anybody on this one?
No. Let's rate it.
I'm a 2.
2.
I'm a 2.5.
Oh, okay.
I am a 2 out of 5. Wow. St. Peter deserves better.
He does, but I didn't know his backstory beforehand. If I would have saw 8 Eyes before this, I would have been like, "What are you doing to my boy?"
Moral of the story: go for something a little more unique, because here we are, even though you guys rated it higher.
That's a risk, also, but still.
Hey, motherfucker, this is the one that worked the best for me. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So but you're
not going to remember it. It didn't leave an impression or anything.
I'll remember it more than that. I'll remember this over Hellbender and whatever the Carney movie is 1,000%.
What the fuck's that called?
Sometimes you got to make ends, not friends, Dan.
Where the devil roams. Yeah, Brent's got to be paid.
I'm kind of curious to see what they do next at this point. If they'll go back, realizing that this was, I don't know.
Did somebody just give them some fucking money? That would be nice.
I think they'd lose something. They might be those filmmakers that it's like, you're better off doing it for tiny budgets and doing
maybe because it works for you. But like for me, I'm like,
I'm speaking as a consumer.
You're speaking as a film person, not a consumer. You're 100% doing the other thing. Kruger is speaking as a consumer who wants content like that for everyone can enjoy. You're speaking of, artistry. They're not going to make money going the other way.
Dude, like you're going to be opposed to giving them money?
No.
I don't get it.
I don't know that I would, because now looking at this one, they had more money because this certainly had a bigger budget than, their other movies they shot around their house practically. And look what they gave us.
Stuff they didn't like. Now
they're
starting to more like it more.
Well, they wrote this too, in fairness. They may not be the types that can handle bigger budget, tighter schedule kind of stuff. So I don't know. I hate to say it. I don't know that I'd give them a ton of money to do something at this point. But we'll see what they do. What kind of
fucking fans of the Addams Family are you, you bastard? Don't give them money. Fuck them.
I wouldn't give them a big budget. All right.
Only make small little pictures. Only Dan like.
Terrifier 2 was made for $250,000. So you don't need to give them a giant one.
Well, they have the thing with them is they already have their whole film studio put together at this point.
Well, at this point, but they didn't before.
Yeah, but by the time you get to 2, I think we're there.
What's wild?
It's because of the funding.
Yeah, that's true.
We're getting to a point where $250,000 for a lot of horror movies, that is getting bigger budget than it was once upon a time. So it's not that. Yeah.
Well, it was crowdfunded. Start doing crowdfunding projects, dude. Stream, for example. I mean, again, from the Terrifier team, completely crowdfunded project.
Yet I didn't even hear about the crowdfunding thing once.
It was big after. You kidding me? After 2.
I didn't know for the stream. I didn't hear anything about that one.
It was big, dude. It was huge. We talked about it on the
I don't even remember. We did talk about it often. I just remember we talked about it once and it was out.
Yeah, because they made their money like that, after 2.
I'm used to the campaigns that are every day. They're like, all right, time for
dude. They went straight into that.
I see the Gator Blade campaigns every day. I know those are happening. But I'm missing the big ones, I guess. All right, Dan, we got a little physical media double feature. Why don't you kick us off?
Yes, so we have 2 films from Synapse Films and director Mike Mendez, and we'll kick it off with his earliest film from 1996, the one that started it all, Killers. So Killers is a film that I'm eager to talk about it because it had some release issues, which we'll get into. But if you're unfamiliar, and this is another one that I feel gives away too much, so I'm going to kind of condense it. But the James Boys, 2 of America's most media-oriented killers, Odessa and Kyle, have escaped from San Quentin's death row. In the midst of a fierce storm and pursued by law enforcement officers, they find sanctuary by bursting in on and taking hostage the ideal American family. Or so they think. We'll leave it there because I think the synopsis gives away a little bit too much. I know it's a 1996 movie, but it's also a movie that I don't feel a lot of people have seen. So
I want to talk about the release. I'm pretty sure everyone other than me and Dan, right?
Yeah, I never saw this before.
All right. And I do want to talk about the release before we actually talk about the movie itself.
Yeah, I want to talk the history too. Yeah, go for it.
All right. Well, it first hit home video. I don't have the year in front of me. But it was released under the title Then Real Killers. I believe it was Apex or Alpine. Didn't have a huge release. I do have the tape somewhere. I wish I would have grabbed them.
Alpine Entertainment. Yeah, it was the company.
That was who released the film, but I think the tape might have been not Alpine. I wish I would have grabbed all my media because I do have.
I believe it was Apex, but that's just memory. I could be wrong.
All right, well, I should have grabbed the tape. That's my fault. Maybe I'll have it and throw the image up later. But yeah, and it was a different cut. Like I don't know when the cut was, but if you've
different opening song, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I think they cleared it for this because it didn't. Yeah, I think it was a sound alike in the original version, on the original released version, but it also had a different ending, which we'll talk about later. But the ending was kind of a straight ending. We'll talk about it later when we get to it, but. And then it got a German release that actually had both cuts a few years later on DVD. But like other than the VHS in the US, it hasn't had a physical release like since VHS, since the 90s. And it just kind of disappeared for a while. And yeah, I mean, I've been clamoring for this one to hit US media forever because the German Blu-rays or DVDs, I'll be honest, weren't very good. I never expected to see the film look this good. And this, for me, is the definitive cut with the original. It's not the original song because it was actually supposed to be something else. We'll talk about that when we get into the film.
The movie actually did have a 12-city midnight movie run theatrically. And it was one of those things. I mean, by the time it came out, DVD was just starting, so it just missed the DVD. It got a big following in Europe. Something else that kind of mirrors the second film we'll talk about after. But yeah, this was one of those ones that it's like you saw it, you fell in love with it, but it always felt like it was hard to get your hands on. And this made it to Sundance when Mike Mendez was only like 22 or something back then, crazy back then. And it's very much influenced by the films of the time, Tarantino. I mean, if you're a Quentin Tarantino fan, you should absolutely watch Killers if you're Natural Born Killers.
Yeah, I was going to say, this movie feels like it takes place in the same universe as Natural Born Killers when I watched it.
Yeah, which is a classic film. I mean,
I'm glad it's getting popular right now with the Menendez show going on. Like, this should be tied in with that.
That's what I thought it was the perfect time to talk about it with the Blu-ray that's just dropping, and with the, I don't want to say Menendez mania running wild, but we do have that connection with that, and it is very much a 90s picture. Like, you can feel that era when watching
in the best possible way.
Yeah. It's back when we're like, fuck everything, and we didn't give a shit. And like, even it's funny now listening to the commentary now, Mike Mendez is like kind of, I think it was a different time is kind of like the vibe I got.
It's very twisty, and we're not going to give any of that away because
there's one line
you
where
could argue that the cover gives some things away, but
all of you know I fucking died.
Oh, me too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So fucking hilarious.
Is it a name or is it something else? Did you catch the name?
with the daughter, right?
Yes.
Where?
Yeah.
So I'm just guessing. I'm hoping I'm right that you guys seem to have enjoyed this too. This is like definitely one of my favorites. I know I got yelled at because
these bitches, these bitch ho motherfuckers didn't make this a goddamn fucking Christmas movie.
You know why?
In our slash, I get it, but goddamn, dude, this probably would have won one of our slash misses.
Well, it doesn't mean it can't enter if it ever comes back, but.
You killed it on me. You killed it on me, and that's why I'm mad. You killed slash miss for me.
But it's like I forget that it's there because it's really only because I'm so focused on the Menendez killing, I'm not thinking about the other stuff.
But it's
there. I agree. I get the argument.
The opening scene, and then the final thing, and then there's a line like about it being on Christmas. How fucking poetic is that? Like.
Yeah. Now that it's like in my brain, this is now going to be in my Christmas rotation.
Yeah, fucking too, dude. I'm putting this on for the fucking family Christmas fucking movie marathon. Just gonna see everybody pissed off at me, dude. If you haven't noticed, I fucking loved it. I was not expecting jack shit going in because I
wanted to make sure you guys both watch this.
Well, I didn't realize that Mike Mendez did my favorite segments out of Satanic Hispanics. I haven't seen any of his movies.
Well,
like in Satanic Hispanics, he does the one with Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite, and then when Santa Muerte comes at the end, and it's all that fucking badass shootout slow motion scene, and I could see it in this. Lots of badass shootout slow motion scenes with a lot of squibs and fucking shit. Inagata Davida playing in the opening scene.
Manhunter.
That just like already set the tone for me. And then like I saw the characters. I loved all the characters. The dialogue's just so fucking sleazy and fucked up. The twists and the turns are great. And this is like just a taboo gunslinging ride that really just took me for a loop.
It might entertain you to know that while this, like, because most of this was shot, like the opening, like the murder of the parents was in front of, that was Mike Mendez's house for the exterior, For the
That's
rest,
awesome.
it was. I don't think it was.
It was Dave Larson's
Yeah, it was
family home who plays Odessa, the older.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Killers.
Yeah, so it's like a really
His dad lost the house. He put it
That's
up
what
to
I
help
was.
him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, that wasn't the only thing. Yes. Well, there's actually 2 movies that were being shot at the same time, so it's not all Killer's fault. Because the first movie, I was going to say Odessa, but the first movie he was making, like, he got to the point where he knew it wasn't going to. It's not what he wanted. They basically scrapped it. Mike Mendez was working as, I want to say, a PA on the film, and he's like, with all these short ends, we could probably make a cheap horror film. Their wheels started spinning. This is what became, and they were like, well, hopefully we can recoup what we lost on the first one, and the house was already on there. So that's not where I was going when I was throwing this fact out to Kruger. It may entertain you to know that all this stuff that was shot in that family house. So they're shooting fucking full load, blank shotguns, shells in the house. Cops are coming. They didn't realize you didn't have to have you still had to have a
LA County. I was going to say.
That's great.
Especially if you're and you saw how much shotguns are going off in this goddamn movie. So that's pretty. I thought that's entertaining. Go ahead.
No, for sure. So I highly recommend this movie to anybody. Like, seriously, it's such a goddamn good time, especially if you love natural born killers. This is a must fucking see.
Oh, and you mentioned the song. That was actually a replacement. Like Dan mentioned, the other version had a different song. That was the ones because they didn't want to pay the licensing, but it currently is in Agata Devita, which was the one that was in the print, I believe. But when they cut it, and apparently you can still line it up and make it work if you start right when I can't remember the exact time. It was originally cut to, and it will sync perfectly to, The Doors' "This Is the End." That was the song, but they didn't think they weren't going to be able to clear it.
In the God of the Vita is way fucking better.
It works, but
have you done it, Todd?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to.
You could have versions out there with the Doors song. I mean, I can't.
Yeah, I know, but it is cool to see that it actually lines up.
No, okay.
But I do agree, and then that's just because I'm used to that song in the movie at this point now too. That's the version. Like when I think of the movie, that's the song I think of.
Well, in the God Devita, I think Manhunter, but it is now going to be followed by this one because
you know what I think?
What's that?
Freddy's dead.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Also, Simpsons. I like this a lot. This definitely is made targeted towards my sensibilities. We have gun violence. We have fucking family trauma. 2 assholes. Yeah, this is, and then there's some extra shit thrown in there that I was not expecting at all. Like, whoa, we're just gonna get
it goes wild.
Yeah, this is a good fucking time, man. I'm sorry I had waited this long for it to enter my life, but I'm glad it's entered my life right now. And
28 years.
30. Oh, yeah, my bad. Also, I would like to question Darby Allin on if this had any impact on his makeup.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it could be a coincidence, but also,
well, there's another big wrestling coincidence coming up in the next one too. I know Pugs had to have caught it. If not, okay, well then we'll
maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, man, there's so many gems in the 90s, a lot of which, like this, just kind of slipped under the radar. And
this one was mostly due to its release, the way it was released and disappeared.
Yeah, no, people just weren't able to get a hold of it. So this Blu-ray, which I know comes out on October 8th, I believe, you'll be able to own it. There are some sad things with the movie. I know Dave Larson, who played Odessa, the older, I'm assuming the older brother, he passed away like 5 or 6 years after making the movie. Suddenly.
And
sadly,
all those like monologues he gives throughout the movie are like his thoughts on the world. Those are like all just him, what he wrote, and
yeah. You can feel that. Also, the dad, Burke Morgan, who played Charles, he sadly died in 2023. If you recognize him, because he did have previous credits, he was in a ton of erotic thrillers and some softcore stuff too. So there's some talented people. Some didn't do a whole lot. Others, managed to get more credits to their name. But everybody hits a home run in this one. It's just a fun, wild fucking movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Extra wise, it's not really stacked. It's got 2 trailers. They're more modern trailers. I think they're recuts because they have the multicom logo at the end. But they have a standard version and a bloody version. But it's got a new commentary moderated by Michael Gingold, formerly of Fangoria, or is he still a Fangoria? I don't even know anymore. But that's where you'll know his name from. And Mike Mendez himself, and it's I checked it out. It's a very good commentary. And since it's a new one, we're getting a lot of good perspectives on the stuff back then, and it's yeah. I was happy to get anything on this disc, so that was great. So I was very excited. Great release overall. I highly recommend picking it up. I mean, the movie alone, finally to have it in this quality is amazing. Now, if you want to check it out, you can stream it on Amazon Prime. So if you want to check it out,
Prime not Freevee?
I believe it's on both. I know it's on Freevee, but if you have Prime, I believe it's also included.
Okay.
So I think if you have Prime, you don't get the commercials that you would if you just watch Freevee. Okay.
Cool. And it's not an expensive Blu-ray right now on Amazon, I believe.
No,
I think it's so.
Yeah.
Is there merch for this movie?
There should be.
Yeah, I want that.
You'd
That
have some
right
cool
there. I want a
options.
T-shirt. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, Mike Mendez gets that Beavis and Butthead money. I know he was directing the last season. I don't know if he's doing the new one, but I know he did the last one. So. Moving up.
Hey, I'm glad there's not enough Mike Mendez movies out there.
Spoiler, there's not one I don't have something good to say about. So when you watch a Mike Mendez movie, you know you're watching a Mike Mendez movie. Maybe not as much as it's Satanic Panic, I think, is the other stuff. You can still see it there, but you don't get as much of him in that, I think.
Wait, so he made Satanic Panic?
No. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. What am I?
Satanic Panic's on your mind.
No, I know. No, the
the Convent?
No, the Hispanics one. The
Satanic Hispanic.
Oh, Satanic Hispanic.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
There you go.
That's what I heard.
He was Don't Kill It with Dolph Lundgren, I think.
I haven't seen that movie, and now I need to.
You'll like that.
Well, we do have another. Do we want to go ahead?
JG Michael's asking, have you guys ever seen the Mendez movie Bimbo Movie Bash? Worth seeing for the title and Barbo.
It's a clip show Full Moon put out, basically. That's is there any new footage in that? I can't even remember.
It's been a minute, but no, I don't.
Yeah, if there is anything, it's not significant. It's basically just a clip show of Full Moon's, Surrender Cinema TNA flicks. So, yeah, I forget he did direct that. That was his second credit, but really, I mean his second feature, which we'll talk about next. But we do. What else? Anything else on this one before we rate this one?
No, let's rate it.
All right. Dan,
I'm a 5. I think it's a fantastic and just kick-ass fun time.
Pugs?
I can't give it a 5. It's a 4.5 out of 5 for me.
I am a 4 out of 5 with room to grow.
I am a 5 with room to grow too. I don't know. I love this picture.
I do think I would be with you and Dan had I seen this at a younger age, though. I think that would have blew my fucking mind.
Yeah. I mean, you have to think of the year it came out. I mean, so this is
that one line alone. I'm I would have been watching every. Fuck, I should just bump it up to 5 because I know I would. But 4.5 out of
5. Cliff Booth, if you're still watching, go check out The Killers if you haven't seen it.
And again, as we said, you can stream it, so check it out. I definitely say pick up the Blu-ray. So
absolutely.
All right. So does Cork. Or wait, is that Cork? I forget. But so we do. Our next one is I know I'm trying to let Dan's dog bark it out.
It's fine. I'm just going to talk over the barks. Our next movie is The Convent from 2000, and also director Mike Mendez. And before I read the synopsis, beautiful 4K release from Synapse.
And also available.
Yeah.
Also available 10/8. You can pick up The Convent in retail stores in either the 4K release or the Blu-ray release. If you do want the combination with the Blu-ray and the 4K with the slipcover, you can still pick it up currently on the Synapse Films website. So if not, you can pick up the retail releases that come out Tuesday. The only difference is you don't get both discs. and the slip.
Okay. So if you're unfamiliar with in this film, in 1960, a young woman named Christine enters St. Francis boarding school for girls and lays waste to the resident nuns. 4 decades later, a group of college students head to the long abandoned building late one night to tag it with fraternity letters, little knowing that rumors of the place being haunted are terrifyingly true. Stir in a couple of disapproving cops and a band of unlikely Satanists, and the table is set for a feast of demonic infestation and bloodshed that only the grown-up Christine can possibly stop. All right. So,
All right. I got history on this one too, Dan.
Oh, you want to go first? Go for it.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm going to do the history before we go. So.
Go for it. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. This one, I got a couple things on this one. First time I heard about this one was the Weekend of Horrors, the Pasadena one. I can't remember what year now, and we got the trailer and we got the opening scene with the nuns. That's what we were saying. Mike Mendez, introduced. So like, between the trailer alone and the nun, I was like, okay, I need to see this picture immediately. And Lionsgate had it. So it was what it was. Managed to import a copy. I think my first one was the VCD I got from I don't know where, which I should have grabbed also. But yeah, found it, saw it, loved it. It seemed like it took forever to come out in the US legitimately, or without importing it.
Yeah, it did. Mike Mendez talks about it. I mean, it was a very popular bootleg, and he said he didn't mind because he's like that kind of kept it alive and it got the hype up before it was able to actually finally come out legit in the US. Another one that had problems, unfortunately.
And also it was slightly cut. You can argue which is the better cut because some of it is extra blood pumps that don't really look realistic, but and they just cut one out or something like that. So like the two versions, whichever you watch, you're fine. But yeah, this is another one. I don't know if it was that it was like, okay, it's hard to get, and it's like, yeah, I love this, or it was just, but yeah, I this is one I don't see how you don't love it, but I don't know. I've been wrong before.
Well, another cool thing about this movie, at one point, he was very close to signing on Snoop Dogg to play Christine's boyfriend, who would have saved the day at the end. So that was something.
That would have been a different movie.
It would. He said it would have totally have changed the ending and some things around, particularly 2000 too, because well, Snoop was doing movies then, but it did get a theatrical run again in Europe, and it caught on, but it just couldn't get that US theatrical that they wanted. And again, it was the convention bootlegs is how people like saw this and were just like, oh my God. Because I remember this did have a lot of hype before it finally came to VHS and DVD, and I fell in love with it. I mean, somebody in the chat was saying Night of the Demons 4, it might as well.
Yeah, 100%. That's all I could say when I was watching.
Oh, yeah, it's a love letter to Night of the Demons, 100%.
JG Michael said that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's absolutely, and that's
we should have talked about it when we did our franchise show.
Well, it's not official, but
but like we could have
kind of why we didn't talk about the hazing either on that one.
Fine by me.
Fucking that's fine.
But it also falls in the same.
Only bald-headed fucks like that movie.
Hey. I'm not bald-headed.
Yeah, I was gonna.
You're balding.
Hazing in the convent, or what's funny? You keep thinking, even though I've seen this movie several times, I'm like, it's Halloween night. It's not Halloween technically, but it's still perfect feel.
Oh no, that's why. Halloween. That's definitely why we wanted to cover this one. It may not be a Halloween film, but it like really like just like Night of the Demons. It has that spirit of Halloween.
It's the spirit flows.
Fun movie
through it, and it's hilarious. Just the dialogue, everything. I mean, it's just written.
The guy all about the pussy, like who didn't know that guy back in the day? Who just
he is hilarious in this movie. I always loved his character, and Megan Perry, who plays Mo, the goth chick, also the iconic minor spoiler there, demon on the cover art. I mean, this one just has the sense of fun, the gore, great cast. I mean, again, Kelly Mantle, who plays Dickie Boy, also hilarious. You also have the returning actor, huh?
James Odessa making his return. Or no, Odessa was the brother one. The
other actor returning is Saul. You could do an entire side movie on the Lords of Hell, just because again, and you knew those guys back in the day, particularly in the 90s. I mean, yeah, I don't know if you've ever.
I wish Dan was one of those guys.
That dude that would just like, when I say, I'm not talking like a goth kid. I'm talking like the dude that was like almost specifically trying to play a character like Dracula. And he would like walk into a club and everybody'd make fun of him.
Side story: I did have a coworker at the time, and he had the Widow's Peak, the vampire shit. And he was. We called him Blah because he looked like a vampire, but he sucked. He was very blah.
You should have called him Blah.
That's what we did every time. Blah.
Poor guy. But no, man, I think one of the best scenes in here is the demon nun montage with the kids. It's just like perfectly normal. They show up in full demon makeup, and then they're like, "Hail Satan" on the board, and then she pukes on the one little girl, and you could see like half of them were.
Well, you would have got me to pay attention. I'll tell you that.
I did leave out the other. I started to, then I didn't bring it back. But the other antidote with this one, like if you ever bring this up in front of Caesar and Haley, when Haley's very first movie when she was a little girl and came over here was The Convent, and when all the nuns are getting smoked at the beginning, she was super happy and just clapping. Oh, yeah! So she enjoyed watching the nuns die as a youngster. Bring it up to her when you see her.
I definitely will.
That's fucking hilarious. But no, I just think this is one of those movies for me that everything works from top to bottom. I think the gore is great. Adrienne Barbeau is fucking badass, essentially playing Snake Plissken, which I think is really just awesome.
What do you think about that, Pugs?
I'm a butterface. I don't like it.
See, I knew you had an issue with her. I told you. I was telling
the best thing she's ever done is John Carpenter. So
Jesus Christ.
That's a big fucking get.
I love Adrienne Barbeau.
Got nice boobs, that's it.
Great boobs.
And she's great when she's a super seabird. Creep Show.
Yeah, The Fog. Come on.
No,
her performance is in The Fog.
Billy. There we go. Super cunt.
Oh, JD Michael just pitched the movie that I'm in for. I want a buddy cop comedy with Bill Moseley and Coolio characters from from this movie. Ben Grimm, he said a butterface. Yes, I did. You guys can have her.
Love Adrienne Barbeau.
I can enjoy your work with not wanting to bang her.
Yeah. Well, I seem to offend Dan because he forgets every time I'm like that.
Well, no, I said I actually said to Dan,
I wouldn't touch you with a stolen.
I said I wonder if Pugs' dislike for Adrienne Barbeau is going to affect this viewing.
No. I don't like her as a person. I'm just like I don't
want to bang her. I get it.
No, I don't want her to look at me. I don't want to see her face. I don't like her hair. It'll get worse if we keep going.
It's the curly hair.
That is a big issue.
That is you do not like, and she's got like the fro back in the day and some. Yeah, okay, I understand you now, Pugs. I see you. I get it.
Remember that bag from Baghead or Bagman? Let me have that. All right.
Oh God, I hope.
But no, it didn't affect my enjoyment of the movie. I missed that one.
God, she'd whip your ass, Pugs. I think she'd come out with that.
We let her. Goddamn it.
She can try. Grab her by that fucking clown hair you got there.
Jesus Christ. Disrespecting the legend, but not the movie. I think it's safe to say we all love the movie.
Pugs hasn't talked to you. Pugs, what'd you think?
There's something about this that just makes you happy.
Thanks, Pugs.
Go for it.
I haven't even fucking talked.
I know. Okay, Pugs, Kruger, who wants to go?
You want to go first, Kruger?
No, go ahead, Pugs.
Okay. This is a good time. I don't love it as much as you guys, But I definitely see the rewatch value, and I'm definitely going to be watching this all the time, or several times at least. I got to ask people if they know about this.
No. I'm sorry.
Okay. But yeah, it's fine. Even with Miss Hideous running the show for most of the time, I had a good time. No, now I'm just digging in, guys.
You are.
But like the weirdo goth guys, loved them. The jock tropes, they fit.
Right.
But like just having pretty much when shit hits the fan and goes like the Night of the Demons territory, I'm like, yeah, okay, I didn't expect us to go this far, and we went pretty far. So it's enjoyable as hell.
I mean, I co-sign with everything you said. Like, the comedy works for me. There's great gore, awesome effects. I like the neon blood.
That's what I was going to ask you. I thought that might be a make or break if you didn't like it.
No, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it just because it was different. And again, I'm Night of the Demons is one of my favorite movies to watch on Halloween. So this definitely is going to be in my rotation now for Halloween. So we picked a good month to review it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank God Synapse, put them out this. Well, Convent's been out, but I mean it's going retail. So yeah, these are both great Halloween watches, especially the Convent. The Convent screams Halloween.
Yeah.
As Kruger pointed out, the other you can save it for Christmas. Now, okay, some of the other things. One specifically 90s thing we get at the end, the 4.0 GPA rumor that was prevalent back and then, that you got a 4.0 GPA if your roommates or people in your dorm got killed. So that's like brought up in there. I thought that was funny. So did Mike Mendez. Did you know? Because in the last film we have the Mendez, thing, and we get a Menudo comment in this one. Did you catch that?
That I did catch.
I was like, huh. What'd you know, Mendez? Come on. And then also, the name of, did you not catch the Sister Abigail?
Oh yeah, I did. I didn't at the time I did. It didn't stick with me.
I was like, well, was Bray a fan? I don't know.
I would imagine he's a fan of this. Yeah,
I guarantee he saw it.
Yeah, but I mean, but just the name, and it does. Yeah, very cool. Okay, one thing that this is kind of going to be a few things I'm going to tell you real quick. Okay, Pugs, you were there when we went to People Under the Stairs house, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
That was also in this, Dan. It played Christine's house.
I see it now, yeah.
And directly across the street from that, which we didn't even, we noticed it and we recognized, but we didn't place it. That was also the sorority. Across the street was the sorority with the double pillars, which is Beckett Mansion, which is in Evil Tunes as the setting. And also, I did confirm it is in City of God or City of Dreams that just came out. That I remember I saw it. I got excited. I was like, it's the Evil Tunes house. I did.
Oh, you confirmed that.
It was also the Beckett house, which so there's some film history there with People Under the Stairs and quite
lots of film. It's funny because that little like stretch there, it's not as shitty as you would expect, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, something wrong? Did I cut out?
No, I don't.
Oh, Pug said something and looked like he was.
I think
I froze.
Oh, okay.
Well, you made us all freeze.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who it was. Yeah, no, that little stretch. Go see it if you can. I think it's really cool, and it's not as scary as it seems in People Under the Stairs. So I think you're good.
No, they were all inside.
No. You just had Sean Whalen in the walls, just chilling. I'm good. I got all this tech now. I'm good. Just play on my phone all day. So I get. Well, what would you say as far as the restoration and everything, Todd? I mean,
I think that the Blu-ray or the 4K, I should say, looks great. Nice to see some film grain on it. Never expected to get a 4K of this, yeah, it looks great. It's as of now, it's the definitive release. One of the extras I know you'd like that's on here, Kruger, it has just some of the I don't want to say they're deleted scenes, but the gore outtakes, so you get like extended
that'd be
takes
cool.
of the gore and stuff like that. There's a really cool location, like a location filming locations they do. Mike Mendez hosts, and this is on the Convent Blu-ray in 4K. But they actually cover the killer, the stuff from Killers, and the stuff from Convent in there. So it covers both locations. That's on that Convent disc. Yeah, it has a bunch of the old extras, a couple audio commentaries. Dan, you wanted to talk about one of those audio commentaries, didn't you?
Oh yeah. There is the Lords of Hell commentary, which is mostly pretty much in character with Saul and Dickie Boy. There's some fun facts in there. I mean, Kelly Mantle got cast just because Mike Mendez saw her at a goth nightclub dancing. So it was
Mike Mendez. Mike Mendez says in his things, if you're in his orbit, you're going to end up in his movies.
Yeah. We need the Convent too, and like get Dolph Lundgren in there.
There, you not remember probably about 10 years ago, they promised that he was talking about the sequel, and then it just kind of disappeared. But it was supposed to be a sequel and a reboot in one. Probably about 10 years now, and I don't know what happened with the funding, but I remember being excited to see what they did with because even if you have like a whole new thing, but you just have this style of demons in there, I think that's going to be cool, no matter to continue it that way. But maybe one day.
He hasn't missed so far. I mean, I have some of my favorites, but Mike Mendez is always dependable for a good time. So,
and he says he's going to check out the Killers right after this. I have to find myself not to call it Real Killers every time now, because it's just called Killers. So you notice every once in a while I'll stumble. Killers.
So what do we rate this one?
Dan, you want to go first?
I mean, I'm a 5. This is one that I watch usually every year, and there's not a lot I can say that about.
I am a 4 out of 5. This is really good.
4 out of 5 as well.
I'm also a 5, but that's me. Me and Dan, 2 we agree on. Jeez, but it's Mike Mendez, so I'm not gonna.
Vote. The fucking man.
Theater worthy.
Absolutely.
All right, let's just close on that. Kumbaya.
Oh, you're not gonna ask me? Okay.
If these were playing in a revival, you don't think they'd be theater worthy?
That's a different story.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, now we can't go back in time to see the theatricals that didn't happen.
True.
So
okay.
Indy mentions the love of Madison Stone, which is a good way to close this show. Ooh, you can get tattooed. I don't remember the name of the tattoo shop, but
and I don't know if she's still doing it, but yes.
Up until fairly recently, you could get probably still the tattoo from Madison Stone. So there you go. On that note, guys, keep checking back. Again, we're going to have shows every day throughout the month of October. Also, patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. It all starts at just $1. And we don't ask for super chats or anything from you, so we appreciate your support. Also, our free Discord, which is always booming. Lots of cool people in there. And very proud of Kruger. Did a great job setting up the Discord. So get on there. And that's all I have, guys. Stay tuned.
Me over once in his life.
I know, there it is. It's for Discord. Because yeah. Love you, Dan.
Well, I am indifferent about your opinions, but I love you too.
There you go. See?
Calm down over there, Diddy.
I got 1,000 bottles for you, Todd. Just in my bag. I'm gonna use every single goddamn one.
Right. Before we get out, though, Dan, promote Tournament of the Living Dead, and then we'll go.
Oh yes, Tournament of the Living Dead. First episode's up now, and we will
new episode tomorrow.
New episode tomorrow, and every other day, right, Todd?
No, it's basically every day other than Wednesdays.
Okay, every day other than Wednesdays until the finale.
Yeah, not our regular show days, the other days.
Yeah, it is. It gets intense in the first episode, and it gets even more intense as we go along. So check
Let's
that
not
out.
oversell it. Let's let it build
Yeah, there
up.
was no threats of suplexes. It's not the same.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Or
yeah,
will
it's
there
not-
be?
A lot of
I
anger.
don't know. Maybe Chris is going to threaten to bear hug us to death. You don't know. You got to.
Oh my God! God damn you!
On that note, good night, guys.
Money's on the dresser.
Just go, Pugs.
All right. I'll see you in Disneyland.